the cabin.
Hello.
Good morning everyone, welcome to part 3 of this West Coast road trip heading north up the USA. So we are, I think we're leaving California today. We're at the very tip of it. We're in a place called Trinidad, not the island. And we're going to be heading over the border to Oregon towards Crater Lake, staying somewhere tonight. But first of all, last night we stayed in this cabin type place, right in the middle of a forest. It's very cool. So we found this on booking.com, pretty cheap. I think I want to say it was like £60 or something for a nice little cabin. This would be great to come back and do like a full camping road trip like what we did in New Zealand. I'd love to stay in all the different forests, and I think I've walked through a spider's web. By the way, I think the previous vlog is a really good one. You know when you just feel it's good? Well, when we were filming it, I've not even looked over the footage from the GH5S or GH5, whatever, and I just know it's good. Like, I just feel good. So by the time you're watching this, that would have been out, so hopefully you enjoyed that, and I'm assuming I would have enjoyed editing it. As you know, these are going to be completely delayed. It is currently March 14th. It's going to be a while until I publish this, I reckon. Coffee, coffee, coffee before we hikey, hikey.
Oh my god.
Good morning. What are you doing?
Coffee.
So we're driving up north on the 101. It's a pretty like well-connected road, I'd say. Kind of scenic in places, and it's kind of like a cross between a freeway, which can be boring, but then also a scenic route, but isn't too long. It's like it's a good road. It's all right. Anyway, whatever. We've just made a little detour through Prairie Creek, which is kind of like in the Redwood National Forest, and I've noticed this is Bigfoot territory, Sasquatch or whatever, or you know, all those things, and I see all these little bumper stickers that are like Bigfoot, I believe, so maybe we'll see it. I don't know. Anyway, we're just gonna have a look in the little visitor center and see what's on offer. Oh, mountain lion. Another macOS. So the 101 just kind of goes up around the fastest route, I guess. And then we've come and done the scenic bit. So hopefully this is going to be really scenic all the way through here. If not, it looks like it could be a kind of shortcut, but on a slower road.
Cross the parkway and take Prairie Creek Trail back.
Okay.
That's 2 miles.
Okay.
Just went into the visitor center and talking with the ranger there, and asking about a little bit of a walk because we've still got 4 hours of driving today, so we can't really spend too long walking. She recommended a journey that's maybe like 1.4 miles. We generally walk at about a mile, 20 minutes, something like that. So it should be about a half an hour walk or so. And I would point out, Ellie is filming on the GH5S. I'm on the GH5. As you know, the GH5S has been sent to us from Panasonic, the current sponsor of the channel. And I'm going to be getting some photos in the area. I've switched to my, if I can get it off, got the Peak Design clip on here, by the way. I've switched back to using that lately. I really like it. I'm shooting on the 23mm f2. Kind of want to get wider. This is actually the widest lens I have with me for photos, because these trees are big. California redwoods are, I think, the biggest trees in the world, like ever. They are just massive, and I was just reading the sign that they grow at a rate of about 6 feet in their first year, and then within 2 years, I think it said, oh, I'm gonna get this wrong, somewhere in a very short space of time they get to 50 foot, which is about the size of 2 houses on top of each other, about 4 stories.
Ooh. Oh. I don't know any numbers, so when you put it in that sort of context, I'm like, that's big.
Yeah. big motherfuckers.
Big ass tree.
Yeah, you look absolutely tiny next to that. Oh my god. What? we lost already?
Yeah, I know where we are now. So we should have gone that way, I think.
I don't know about you, but they're all big. Maybe there's like a bigger tree. Just gonna regurgitate some more knowledge that I learned about 2 minutes ago into this video. So these big Californian redwoods, as well as being the largest living natural structures in the world, they have their own protection system. It's like a double layer protection against fire, insects, pests and all sorts. So the bark on the trees can actually grow to around a foot in, I guess, thickness, which will protect it from fire. And of course bark is like skin that just sheds. It just, you know, keeps falling and coming back and all sorts over time and time again. And if that bark was to get penetrated, if it had kind of like fallen off or whatever, there's then this like chemical compound inside the tree that protects it against insects primarily, but also as a little bit of a fire retardant, which is quite amazing really. So California does get some crazy forest fires and bushfires. In some times, like, fire can be good for the fertility of the land over time. In fact, there are places that will actually actively burn places because it makes the ground, you know, fertile for future generations. But these trees, they have their own defense mechanism. So although some of them may look burnt, they are still living, breathing trees, which is quite amazing. Another fact for you that I recently learnt 3 minutes ago now was the roots on these trees are actually quite shallow. So although they can go to crazy heights, the roots themselves sometimes are only as deep as 6 foot. I am about 6 foot, which means that these trees are being held up by roots not very big at all. But they do kind of intertwine with the other trees, and that's kind of what supports them. So it's kind of like a friendship bond. They hold each other together. Quite nice. I think we've been walking for about 35-40 minutes maybe. We have been stopping to take photos and video, which is kind of throwing off our bearings a little bit, and we're not sure if we've seen Big Tree. I mean, we've seen a lot of big trees, but I don't know if we've seen the one they call Big Tree. I'm sure there would be a little sign. I don't know. It's just nice being around all these huge trees. Absolutely massive trees. We may have made another error in terms of cross-American to British communication. We continually find ourselves not being able to speak the same language. So, as we've just seen, this sign over here, which says Big Tree, I don't think that's the path to Big Tree. I think this is Big Tree. Oh my god, we just walked so far looking for Big Tree.
I mean, kept guessing, is this the big tree? Is that the big tree? It's been here. To
be fair, it's kind of difficult to call this Big Tree because it is about 4 trees combined. Maybe that's what makes it Big Tree. Okay. At least we now know that we've definitely seen Big Tree. It was right in front of our fucking noses. We have just technically crossed the border into Oregon. What? Are you as confused as I am? Was not expecting snow. I'm just so confused. It's the same day, right?
I'm so confused.
It's the same day. Are you as confused as I am? It's snowing. We drove up from California. And... Right, let's try and work out where we're staying, what this cabin is and what the hell's going on. Were you expecting snow?
No. I don't know where I am.
I don't know, it does say cabins. I don't know, maybe it's in here? No, that's locked.
Oh my god.
This is just a full-on house. Did we book this? Let me try and just make sense of everything that's happened. So we've arrived at this place called Rocky Point Resort. We booked it like what, 3 days ago or something? Like
yeah.
we kind of book things last minute on this trip. We knew it was near a lake and it was on the way to Crater Lake. We saw the images, you know, look lovely and green and, you know, just really fresh in nature. And as we're coming up, it's kind of getting snowy. There's a lot of snow on the ground, and then we arrive at the resort and it is full on snow, cold, wintry. I'm very confused. It's like we left California and then it's as if we've traveled -2 months back to winter. I mean, it looks very beautiful, but I'm just really confused. And then this whole room that we've got, so we booked a cabin. The owner came out and he's like, do you want a place with a view or do you want the cabin you booked? So we go for the view. It was like a full-on house. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. I think I'm going to go down and have a little look at the lake whilst the light is still there. Also, another thing to add into this, so the images I'm going to be getting, I'm going to be using my presets designed for nature, obviously. But I wasn't expecting to have to flex out the frosty ones again. I was thinking they were going to be for next winter. But yeah, that is a very, very still lake. It's sunrise the following morning in Rocky Point, and I'm trying to get down to the lake because it looks really misty and it's just glowing white. Obviously I wasn't really prepared for snow. I managed to pick this coat up the other day just by chance going to a North Face outlet. But I haven't got my snow boots or anything with me, and there's about a foot of snow right at the edge of the lake. So what I've done is I've put my feet into waste bin bags that just happen to be in the room. I think that might be the best way to keep my feet dry and warm. Here goes. This might actually be as close as I can get. It's pretty difficult to know where I can kind of go around the lake and get some shots, because obviously I don't want to fall in the lake. It looks freezing. And there's trees and pontoons and all sorts in the way, so this might be the best I can get. Either way, it's just beautiful to look at. I can't get over how peaceful, how magical it is here. And I didn't even expect to be seeing snow again so early in the year. I thought I'd have to wait until next winter. What a treat this has been. The water is just so still. It is pristine, it's glass. We're leaving Rocky Point today. We were originally going to be going to Crater Lake. So if you don't know what Crater Lake is, have a look, Google images and stuff. It's a pretty spectacular looking lake. I think it was formed from a volcano, I don't know how long ago, but now it's like this sunken lake with all sorts of greenery and stuff around. That is in the summer and the spring and the autumn. We're still technically in winter, and unfortunately that means that it's kind of unreachable. I hadn't really realized this at the time of booking it. I mean, I wasn't expecting snow, let's be honest. And according to Oregon state law, in winter driving conditions on certain roads, by law, you have to carry chains with you for your wheels. Whether they're needed or not, you actually have to carry chains with you. Now, the hire car we've got is from California. It doesn't have the chains. I don't know where I would buy some chains. But not only that, if I was to drive on those snowy roads and something were to happen, I know full well my insurance likely wouldn't cover it, and it's probably going to create an all sorts of mess and problem for me. So, unfortunately, sadly, this time we're going to have to bypass Crater Lake and come back some other time when the weather's fresher. Yeah, it's a shame, but you know, it is what it is. These things happen. You just have to check the road closures, and although looking at the road, it's drivable. Like I could drive on it. The car we've got is a front wheel drive, and like I said, it's a hire car. I don't want to take any risks. So anyway, onwards to Portland.
Let's go get breakfast.
Breakfast.
Coffee.
You gonna see me out, yeah?
Huh?
You gonna see me out?
Yeah.
What a bizarre couple of days this has been. Yeah, so we're going to leave our cabin. I'm going to leave a link in the description to it, as with all our other accommodation. So I booked this one with booking.com. Yeah, pretty good. So we've driven up to Portland now, and the last half of that journey, the Interstate 5, oh, what a drag. I don't think we turned for a solid 30 minutes at one point. It was just straight line. So yeah, we've just checked into where are we staying? We're at the Doubletree by Hilton. And the lady at the desk, she kindly gave us an upgrade for, I think, like $30 a day or something, but discounted our parking, which is $27, down to $0. So we're still spending the same amount that we were anyway, but we've got a massive room now. This is a huge room. It still worked out kind of like one of the best options in the city. Sometimes Doubletrees can be quite expensive, but we managed to find a pretty good deal on this, so I'm quite happy.
And we booked it quite late. We booked it quite late, and it was like going down in price. So
we did actually, yeah. Yes. In fact, our procrastination of booking it even later made it cheaper. So maybe there's a tip in there. Anyway, so we're gonna be checking out Portland and potentially some of the surrounding areas. Just got a tip on a gorge and some other stuff over the next couple of days, and we'll be making another video on that, so make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Go and check out the next part of this whole West Coast series, and I will see you in another video soon. Alright, thanks for watching everyone, catch you later, bye bye. Yes, Portland has trams. That is a sign of a good city.